Hello and welcome everyone. It is time for Jim Comics Top Picks for New Comic Book Day this upcoming Wednesday, January 30th, 2019. Looks to be another lighter week for me this week, but hey, that's okay. There's still some good stuff in there, and this past week was really good. There was some good stuff, which I got to talk a little bit about some of the books I picked up on Wednesday, just because I wasn't able to do a haul video, and I'm just because of my work, I'm probably not going to be able to do haul videos for quite a while. But I'll try and do a little recap at the beginning of these, which I did in my last one, so I'll do that today as well. Thank you so much to everybody that watches my videos and sends me comments. Love being part of the community, so thank you so much. No shout out this week to Shop, just because I forgot to write it down. So anyway, that's what happens. You get busy and stuff happens. So, and I've had a few people ask me about some of the books in my videos I've had in the background. I had some Thor books the other day. They were, I don't know, I just pull books out and put them in there sometimes. Other times they it's because something's going on with them. So this week it's all the Reborn #1s that I've got in the background here. And that's because that got picked up by Netflix just in this past week. I put that out on my Instagram, and Key Collector Comics app, he had something out about that as well. It's one I talked about in one of my first videos, my key books to invest in 2017-18 that I put out late 2017. This was one of the ones I recommended, and it had the feel of a movie written all over it, and it took forever for it to get picked up, but it finally did. But anyways, it's a good one to get, and they're still fairly reasonable. I think you can still pick up the cover A, which is on the left here, pretty cheap. So don't overpay for it. Try to get one though, because it's a really good story, and it's great Capullo art, which, I mean, stunning artwork. He's still one of the best artists out there, I say. So I got a autographed one from Greg Capullo on the left. That's cover A. I got the New York City Comic Con 2016 exclusive variant in the middle. It's a 9.8 sketch variant. I think there's only 500 of those made. And then on the right is a really nice Todd McFarlane 1 for 25 of cover A, or not of cover A, but of #1. And that one's a little tougher to find. Yeah, there's enough of them out there you can pick them up, but it's just a really nice looking cover. I love it. That's one of my favorites. I'm a big Todd McFarlane fan, and that is a really nice looking cover. So if you can find any of those, try to pick them up, especially cover A. Like I say, I think you can pick those up pretty cheap. So anyways, I'll do a quick little recap of stuff I picked up last week. From Independence, I just got the one. I got Punchline #3. Been really enjoying that series so far. It's Antarctic Press has been putting out some good stuff, and really like that title, so that's a good one. I picked up my Batman 63. I got a couple copies of cover A. I like the cover, but man, I don't know. I didn't enjoy that one very much. I thought there was going to be a lot more going on in there than there was, and it was not very good. I didn't think it was very good. Justice League 16. This was a good one, and it's funny in here, showing some images. I think by now most of you read your comics, but if you haven't, it's kind of talking all about Perpetua, and you actually get, I know it's technically not a first appearance of Perpetua, but I guess it kind of is. You got this kind of this tablet statue sort of thing, and that's Perpetua in there. And then you learn kind of a bit about her her origin and what this symbol means here. And it kind of, I guess that's the source wall, and there's some of these lines deal with all her power and stuff, and then the other lines are stuff to I can't remember, but anyways, it explains this whole symbol, what it means, which is on that doorknob, and I guess that's the door to her prison, maybe. I don't know, because I know the Legion of Doom is probably going to try and set her free, which is going to be interesting, because at some point, I mean, they're not going to do all this work and just not have her show up. So yeah, it's going to be a good one. I like that character. I like those supervillains, so I mean, as most of you do anyways. Aquaman 44. I thought this was going to be the first full appearance of Nama the Dragon God, and it wasn't, which was a little disappointing, but you did get, interestingly enough, you got all these characters on this island that are helping out Aquaman. You learn all about who they really are. They have all their god names and stuff, so it's pretty cool. There's a whole, I think there's like 9 of them in there, so it's pretty interesting. And next issue will definitely be Nama the Dragon God, because that's listed as being her origin right in the solicitation, so that'll be a really good one to get. Definitely got that on my pull list. So that's it from DC. From Marvel, I grabbed a couple copies of Avengers #13, and that's more just dealing with the first Iron Fist and origin of her and everything else, so that was pretty good. Crypt of Shadows, #1. Kyle Hott's cover, I really like that. It's got that 1970s kind of look to it. And I also grabbed the variant for that one, cover B. Yeah, this cover B. Kind of got the 1950s sort of look to it. I really like that. Superior Spider-Man #2, and that's the first Spider-Man gets cosmic powers in that. So now you got the cosmic powered Superior Spider-Man. I'll put an image on the screen. I'm not going to open up the book, but I took a picture of it. I put it on my Instagram. It's on there. So that's an interesting first appearance. Guardians of the Galaxy #1. I think a lot of you probably picked this one up. I got 2 copies of cover A, and I got one of the 1 for 10. I really like that Groot cover. It was actually pretty good, and it is your first team appearance of the new Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's funny, this reminds me a lot of when Venom first came out, when Cates was writing Venom and #1 dropped. They printed a ton of them. Don't expect #1 to do a whole lot. You know, there wasn't a ton of hype about it. People are like, oh yeah, it's okay, whatever. But look at what Venom did in issue #3. And the funny thing is, with issue #3 of Guardians of the Galaxy is listed as the Dark Guardians. So something I highly suggest you pick up the next few issues of Guardians of the Galaxy, because Donny Cates will drop something big in one of the next few issues. That's how he works. And I'm expecting something in issue #3, so I'm buying #2 and 3 and 4 and everything, because there is going to be something big coming in that run, and then everybody will run out trying to buy it. So pay cover price for it if you can. That's what I suggest. Keep it on your pull list. And the big one this week was Immortal Hulk #12, man. This series is so good. I also got the Jeff Shaw variant. I don't know, for whatever reason, that price on that one's really heating up, and I don't understand why. I mean, it's an okay variant. I actually looked at it. There was only one at my shop. I grabbed it, and I was like, should I get it? And I did. I'm glad I did, but you know, initially I wasn't going to get it. But anyways, this book is just, this whole run is so good. And the One Below All shows up in here, and it's actually him on the cover too. So it's a first cover appearance and a first appearance in the book, and he looks really cool. I'll put an image of him on the screen right now. You can kind of see him if you haven't read it. There you go. Spoiler alert. Anyways, it's really good. But you know, it's funny. I was racking my brain, and I'm like, okay, so is the Hulk? I know you've got this image of the One Below All, but the funny thing is, I went back and I read issue #1, and because I remember reading in here when he's fighting this this gang. One of the guys, I got to read what he said. I got to read what he says in here, because it's really interesting. He's out fighting. He's out fighting the Hulk, and he's scared shitless. Okay, so in issue #1, the gang's fighting the Hulk outside, and this one guy just disappears. And then right here, this guy says, "Shut up!" And he says, "It's the devil, man. It's the damn king of hell." So it's kind of interesting that they throw that right in the first issue, and then you know, in this issue now we're in he's in hell. So does I've been racking my brain, like, how is Hulk going to get out of hell and everything else? So is it turn out that Hulk is the king of hell? That would be really, really interesting. So we'll see where it goes, but I just find it funny that that's in issue #1. And I want to talk about Immortal Hulk real quick, just the print runs, because this is a classic to me. This is a classic series right now. It's probably, this and Venom are Marvel's 2 best series they're putting out right now by far. Al Ewing's writing is really good. Bennett's art is awesome, and Alex Ross covers, boy, they are really good. And the print runs on #1 was with all the remember, this is with all covers, was roughly 90,000. That's with reorders and initial orders and everything. Then from issue 2 dropped down to 47,000. And then from issue 3, pretty much right up to 12, they're right in the 43 to 45,000 range. It fluctuated a little bit for different issues, but it's not a high print run comic, and it's very well written. And I could totally see them doing a movie at some point down the road, because they've done a couple Hulk movies and they sucked, to be honest. Well, I shouldn't say they sucked; they just weren't very good. And I would love to see them relaunch a Hulk movie with kind of this horror side to it, because this is how the Hulk originally was written. That first 6-issue run that Stan Lee and Ditko and Kirby put out, he was kind of an, you know, it dealt more along the lines of the way this comic is written. So it's really good, and I'm really hoping they do something with it. So if they do, boy, you know, you're going to want this run, and obviously starting right with Avengers No Surrender right at 682, and 682's first appearance, 684's first full appearance, and then you got this run. So, man, it's one you want to look at. I can't stress enough to get that, to get this one on your pull list, and try to hunt down these back issues of ones you don't have, because it's really good. So that is it for me as far as my books this past week. We'll run through what I'm looking at this week. Sorry, that kind of went along there, didn't it? Anyways, from Alternate Comics, got a few from them. I'm really liking their comics. They're $1.50, and they've actually been pretty good stories and artwork and stuff in them. So I got 4 this week from them. I got Actual Roger #1, just the one cover. Feast or Famine #2. I really enjoyed #1. It was actually really well written, and the artwork was really good in it. So I'm definitely picking that up. I don't know how to pronounce this one. It's ICYMI #1. That looks cool. And then Unit 44 #1. So there's 4 from Alterna. But the funny thing is, I can get 4 comics from them for $6. So can't really go wrong with that. From Dark Horse, I got Word #1. That looks interesting. It looks like it's almost got kind of an X-Files, you know, supernatural kind of feel to it. We'll see what happens with it, but it looks kind of interesting. 2 covers for that. I'm probably just going to grab cover A, but it looks good. From Image, Ice Cream Man #9. It's finally back on the shelf. They seem to do their 4-issue run and then take a break, so it's been a while since I got some Ice Cream Man, but definitely picking up that one. Got 2 covers for that. Spawn 293 is out, and again, this is leading right up to 300. Got 3 covers. Now, I don't know, I guess by now most of you are aware of the whole Matina controversy and him copying images and everything else. So he's listed as the artist on the cover for these. Whether he ends up being or not, I don't know. But the image you see on the screen is for cover A. I don't have any images for cover B and C, so they may have pulled some of those or changed them. I don't know, who knows. But either way, it's going to be a good comic. It's listed with 3 covers. But his Spawn and Violator have a big battle in this. And apparently this is going to have, it's going to kind of culminate in the 300th issue. And from what I've heard, there's going to be a new Violator introduced at some point. So, man, I'm buying, well, I've been buying Spawn for a while, and I recommended it right up to 300. Don't wait for 300. So that's it from Image. From DC, got Action 1007, 2 covers for this one. And this one, boy, this one looks good. I'm looking forward to this one, because the Leviathan Rising Part 1 is the name of the story arc. And it's funny because in the last issue, 1006, the last kind of splash page, you had the car that showed up. I mentioned this at the time, but it's the car that was on the cover of Action Comics #1, the first appearance of Superman, showed up in the back of that book. And the solicitation says the secret is revealed. So there's something to do with that car. I mean, who knows? But it'd be kind of cool if they tie it back to the very first Superman comic and learn something about that car, that, you know, it's not just a car, but there's something else about it. So it'd be kind of cool. Looking forward to that. Detective Comics 997, man, this has been really good, leading up to 1,000. 2 covers, and I don't know if we're going to find out who is hunting Batman in this, or maybe we'll learn a little bit more, because you did have that cameo a couple issues ago, the guy that stabbed Alfred, so, or lady, who knows what it is. But anyways, I'm looking forward to that. It's been really good. Definitely recommend that one. Old Lady Harley #4, just the 1 cover, but Old Man Aquaman is on the cover, and a little more about Old Man Joker, it sounds like they're going to be talking about in here. So it's obviously something lead into a big with Old Man Joker. Definitely picking that up. Batgirl 31. 2 covers for that. I'm probably only going to get cover B, and that's just because it's a really nice art germ cover. That is a gorgeous cover. Total cover buy for me, so picking that up for sure. And Batman Beyond 28. 2 covers for that one. It looks like it's Joker's final punchline, so I think it's the end of the story arc for that Joker run there. It looks pretty good, so I'm grabbing that. From Marvel, Amazing Spider-Man #14. 3 covers for that one. Probably just grabbing cover A. I'm not a big fan of the other one, so do that for sure. I always pick up Spider-Man. Doctor Strange #10. There's 4 covers for this one. This is the 400th issue of Doctor Strange. And it sounds like you may learn who this mysterious villain is. It's been kind of hunting or been tormenting Doctor Strange. So whether it's a new character or it's an old character, I don't know. But being a 400th issue, it's a milestone issue. Definitely grabbing that. Marvel Knights number 6, 4 covers for that one, and it's the final issue in this run, and Cates is writing this one as well. He wrote the first one, if I remember right, and then other people wrote 2 to 5, and then he's writing this one, so definitely picking that up. Weapon H number 12, just the 1 cover. I've been reading it all the way through, and I'm going to keep going. I don't know if they're going to be ending Weapon H and moving him over to another comic title or something. I heard some rumors of that. I don't know if that's true or not, but anyways, number 12 is coming out and grabbing that. One I'm not getting, but I'm going to mention anyways, is Age of X-Men Alpha number 1. There's a ton of covers for it. I haven't liked the way Marvel, they dragged out Wolverine for months and tons of, I don't know, I'm just not, I'm not into it. So anyways, let you know that's out though. So that is it for me this week. It's a lighter week for sure. There's not a ton out there that I'm looking at, but for covers, I only got 3. I got Batgirl 31, that cover B art germ cover. That is a really nice cover. Definitely going to try and get that. Spawn 293 cover A. Now again, this is a Matina cover. And whether or not that's actually going to be coming out or not, I don't know. But, I mean, I like the cover, so I hope it does because it's really nice. And even though I'm not buying it, Age of X-Men number 1, the Rahzzah variant, it's a 1 for 25, I think. It looks really nice. So that's that. If you're into that, that's a nice one to get. Don't overpay for it, though. So my picks this week, I got 3 picks and 1 honorable mention. Spawn 293. Just because it's a battle with the Violator, and from what I hear, there's going to be a new Violator, so I don't know if he shows up in this one or what the deal is, but I'm really liking Spawn. It's been pretty good the last few issues, so that's on my list. Action Comics 1007, Leviathan Part 1. There's supposed to be a secret revealed, and it'd be kind of cool if it's about that car from issue number 1 of Action Comics to see there's some secret we didn't know about that. That'd be really kind of cool. And last one is Detective Comics 997. Oh, excuse me, 997. Really liking this, and like I say, it's leading right up to 1000. Arkham Knight's going to be popping up in 1000, and he may make a cameo somewhere along the line, so don't wait for 1000. And honorable mention this week is Doctor Strange number 10, just because it's the 400th issue. It's a milestone, and there is a possible villain showing up in there. I don't know, though. Don't quote me on that one. So, a couple spec books this week. This is an oldie but a goodie. It's just it's Uncanny X-Men 201. It's the first appearance of Nathan Summers as a baby, and he obviously becomes Cable at a later date. If you can find those, you know, it's one of those ones where when the movie came out and Cable was all big, everybody's trying to hunt down everything Cable. But now that it's cooled off, it's a good time to look for it because the price would have come down and everything else. So see if you keep your eyes open when you're at garage sales and back issue bins and stuff. I mean, I don't think you'll find it in a back issue bin, but you never know. New Mutants Annual number 2, first appearance of Psylocke. That's a good one to find if you can find it. And this one I really like. I was reading that Robert Downey Jr.'s contract is up with Marvel at the end of or after this next movie. So whether he's going to be signing a new contract and coming back for a whole bunch more movies, I don't know. But if he doesn't, there's a very good chance that Riri Williams, because they are going to want to bring in new characters, you know, bring in Ironheart would be a, you know, kind of a different replacement, right, or a good replacement. So I know issue number 7 is technically Riri Williams' first appearance, but it's just a cameo. Invincible Iron Man number 9 is her first full appearance, and it's also the first full appearance of her armor. So this number 9 is a really good one to get. Like I say, I really think Riri Williams and Ironheart has a big future with Marvel. They're trying to introduce a lot more female characters, as you all know. And Robert Downey Jr., like I say, he's had a pretty good run. So it wouldn't surprise me at all to see this book or this character popping up in a movie soon. So get it while it's still cheap. I mean, it's not dirt cheap, but I mean the price is reasonable on that one. It's not super crazy. Anyways, that's it for me this week, folks. I did have another spec book for you, but it's in a box somewhere and I can't find it. I got to try and hunt it down. It's to deal with Spider-Man, and when I find it, I was having a lazy day, I think, and I just shoved it in a box, and I can't, for the love of me, I can't remember where I put it. I have days like that sometimes. It's in a box somewhere, but I'll have to try and track it down. So anyways, that's it for me this week, folks. Take care, happy hunting, and I will talk to you later in the week. Hopefully I can put out a haul. I might be able to put out a haul video this week because I'm not working on Wednesday, so I'm really hoping to put one out this week. But anyways, take care, everyone. Bye for now.